Hi guys, welcome in to the Drum Ed channels. I'm very excited to have been asked by Rich to do a quick guest tutor lesson. I love what the guys are doing at Drum Ed. I think they're onto something really cool. I first met Rich years ago along with Mike at a drum camp that Rich was holding up in Halifax, where one of the tutors was none other than Mr. Steve White. So it's amazing how things pan out and how things kind of come round, and the drum world is a very small world, which is very exciting. So hopefully this lesson is helpful for people who watch it. And I hope we can kind of get into it and get some good stuff going. Now, when thinking about what to deliver for this lesson, as it's a one-off, I wanted to give something that would be really quick to understand, super simple to practice, but also really helpful further down the line. So the idea is to give people something that will really help as and when gigs come back again. And the thinking behind it is we're hopefully moving back into a place now where live music is going to become a thing again very soon. So we need to get back into gig-ready drummers that are musically aware of what's going on, have ideas to take to the gigs. So as soon as the live music scene picks up again, we can all hit the road ASAP. So here's a very, very simple concept that I started using quite a few years ago at gigs, and it's what I call drum fill escapes. What I mean by that is it's a really cool way to end a drum fill, for one. But more importantly, it's a really good way of getting out of a drum fill that's slightly gone wrong. And if we're really honest, we've all been there where we've gone for a drum fill that's slightly ambitious and we can feel it not working and we can feel the wheels coming off fairly soon. The idea behind this is that we can basically have a little lick in the pocket so that as and when that feeling starts to happen and we're feeling the urge to abort the drum fill because it's not really working, we can throw this nice quick little lick at the end. It still sounds quite musical, but it helps us get out of the drum fill nice and smoothly. No one has to know that it almost went wrong. So, super simple idea. It's 4 notes long. It is kick, right, left, kick. And that is it. Even though it's 4 notes, we're not going to be counting these as 16ths or as 8th notes. We're going to be counting them as 16th note triplets. So it's actually the very end of the bar we're going to use this drum fill escape. So the way we're going to count it is if we were doing 16th note triplets, 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet 1. That's where the lick's going to go. 4 triplet and triplet 1. So that last bass drum is actually going to land with a crash cymbal, and that lands on the downbeat of the next bar. So the easiest way to kind of get this rolling is to start by playing an 8th note groove that's super simple. And then on the last 8th note, we're going to put these 3 notes in, 4 if we're counting the downbeat afterwards. Let's hear how that sounds. We'll go nice and slow, and then we'll try it a bit quicker. And then if we try it a little bit quicker. So even just as a simple way of finishing a groove or a drum fill, this is quite a cool idea. It's got a very Benny Greb vibe to it. I've seen Weckl use this kind of thing before as well. It's a really nice string of notes in a really nice rhythm where it sounds musical and it sounds interesting, but it also isn't too intrusive. There's obviously a lot of notes going on, but we kind of crammed them together. Now, back to what I said a minute ago about this being a bit of a drum fill escape. The way to kind of get this into our vocabulary so we can pull it out when we need to is to also just be able to use it as a way of finishing drum fills. You want to get really comfortable with having this idea at the end of whatever other idea you're doing. So when we're doing drum fills and we're kind of making them up as we go along, the last 8th note of the bar should be this little 4-note lick. We'll try a few times around that to see how it goes, and then we'll see if we can then start to incorporate it when drum fills go wrong. So just as a general little lick to finish a drum fill with, it's killer. It sounds fun. It's not that hard to do once you kind of practice it, but it sounds musical. It sounds interesting, but it's not so in your face that other musicians will get annoyed by that. Now, back to what I said at the start of the lesson. This isn't only a good way of finishing a drum fill. This is also the thing to use when the drum fill starts to go wrong. And we've all been at gigs where this has happened, where even simple drum fills can sometimes go wrong if you catch a stick on a rim, if you miss the drum, if something kind of collapses on the kit and you end up not being able to hit it. You want to have something where you can quickly throw it in so it musically sounds cool, you're back on the downbeat, and everyone's safe again. It can still sound deliberate and still sound like a musical decision, which end of the day is mostly what we do as drummers, is trying to convince people we haven't messed up. So the next few minutes, all I did was record myself playing and deliberately tried to do fills that I knew might throw me off or not really come out as tight as they could. Weird thing to say as a teacher who's recording a lesson. But the idea was, if a mistake happened, could I quickly jump onto this little lick, come out of it, and then see how it goes. So this is the drum fill that probably didn't work. Have a little look. So, you know, that clip came from noodling for like 10 minutes, deliberately trying to do fills I knew I hadn't really ever thought about before. And okay, it wasn't awful, but it didn't quite come out how I wanted, so I kind of just stopped and thought, ugh, quick lick, back on the downbeat, don't give anything away on your face, and you'll be amazed how often you get away with it, and people still think you're musically playing something interesting and deliberate. So if you enjoyed this lesson, please like and subscribe to all the Drumhead stuff. Please let them know you enjoyed it, because hopefully we can come back and do some more stuff fairly soon, as and when we're allowed to. Hope everyone is staying safe and well at the moment. Hope to see you all soon.